Big weekend at the Cineplex this weekend. No, that's called a lie. I tricked you. You got tricked by me, the Trick Master. What's coming out this weekend is a movie that's highly anticipated if you consider yourself a true art house cinephile fan of important indie cinema. And that's a movie called Shame, which was directed by Steve McQueen, who started out in England, not the Steve McQueen that rides motorcycles and is dead. The Steve McQueen that started out as the English visual artist who became super famous kind of overnight as a new auteur filmmaker when he directed Michael Fassbender in the story about the Bobby Sands body starve. What is it called when you say no food for me? I'd rather die because of an issue. Hunger Strike. The movie about the Bobby Sands hunger strike called Hunger, which was a really powerful, really good film featuring a really good performance from Fassbender. Their follow-up collaboration is called Shame, similarly short to the point title, and is about a man who lives in New York who is addicted to doing it with women. And maybe with men too. He just loves having sex. Everybody's really kind of excited about this in the art house circle because it's done well at a bunch of festivals. We saw it at TIFF. And also, it's one of the first films in a long time that American distributor Fox Searchlight is letting it get to the theater with an NC-17 rating, which forever has been kind of anathema. It's killed the box office potential. Well, they've kind of realized that the box office potential is what it's gonna be. This is not a movie that anybody would kind of stumble into with their kids and get scared off of by an NC-17 warning. It's full of lingering shots of Michael Fassbender's butt and his penis hanging down and his penis kind of going in front of the camera and his butt kind of pumping and humping and his penis humping inside a woman and like lots of like penis jacking and lots of butt pumping and boobs and mouth kissing and like all kinds of like really horny like body pumping moves and kind of an equally impressive number of kind of chiseled face staring. It's like basically like face cut to body pumpy, pumpy, butt, look at my tube, stare. And then his sister cries. What's her name? Carey. Sister Carey Mulligan, another good performance, cries. The movie's full of good performances and a lot of naked parts. Unfortunately, it's also spectacularly boring, which sometimes people treat as a positive for art house cinema because there's this belief that there's some kind of separation between regular Hollywood cinema and art house cinema. And art house cinema is good if it is kind of slow and languorous and drawn out. That can be true when a filmmaker's using that slowness or boringness or languorousness to make a point, but Shane doesn't actually make a point. It's just a story of, and I'm not being overly unfair, it's not a movie about making a point. It's a movie about the visceral sensation of being addicted to sex. Unfortunately, it's not that complicated, it's not that deep, it's not really about anything, and as a result, it's just boring instead of being boring in the service of some bigger, more important point. Whether or not you like that's up to you. I don't. I recognize that it's a movie that's got a bunch of good things that's also ends up not being a very good movie, which I know is crazy to say about such an important art house film, but ultimately it's just kind of hollow of ideas and filled instead with pictures of wieners and humping butts. So what should you watch instead? Crush the artificial ghettoization of Hollywood superhero films. Ignore the divide that people imply is in place between summertime blockbusters and fall Oscar movie bait. That division is put there to trick you into spending money. It's artificial and it doesn't exist. There are good movies everywhere in the art house and in the summertime. One of the best ones of the year that will never get talked about in the same context as a movie like Shame is X-Men First Class. It stars Michael Fassbender as Magneto, a guy that's not addicted to sex with a long penis and a hump butt. He just can control metal with his mind, and he uses that to fight communists and Nazis. It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're one of the handful of people that thought, oh, I won't see this, it's too stupid, you're stupid if you think that. It's an incredibly well done film that's got way more ideas in it, weirdly, than Steve McQueen's Shame. So watch that instead.